Keep your calm. They rolled their eyes, laughed under their breath, dismissed you like your presence meant nothing. And in that moment, everything inside you wanted to break, to snap, to respond. But here's what the Stoics knew. Disrespect is designed to pull you out of yourself, to make you react, to trade your center for noise. But calm, that's where the power stays. You don't lose your value because they couldn't see it. You only lose it when you hand it over by reacting. Stillness is not weakness, it's strategy. The one who doesn't flinch sits higher, feels deeper, sees clearer. They can mock, they can provoke, they can test your peace. But if your breath stays even, they've already lost. Because the most terrifying force is a person who can be disrespected and still not move. Stillness is not silence. It's command. Let them underestimate you. Let them misread your restraint. That's their mistake. Your strength isn't in your voice. It's in what you don't give them. No anger, no explanation, no reaction. Just eyes that don't blink. And a spirit that doesn't need to rise to prove it was never low. Keep your calm. That's the first warning they'll never see coming. Key 2. Don't take it personally. Not everything they say is about you. Sometimes it's about their bitterness, their broken pride, their need to feel bigger by making someone else feel small. The insult wasn't personal, but how you receive it? That's the trap. Because when you take it personally, you start defending, explaining, bleeding for something that wasn't even yours to carry. But the Stoics had a shield, detachment. They trained their mind to filter the world, to see through the attack and realize most disrespect is self-hate redirected. Their tone isn't yours. Their chaos isn't yours. Their projection, not your responsibility. You don't have to respond to everything thrown at you. You don't have to absorb every word that lands. Let them speak. Let it pass. Let it fall at your feet, unclaimed. Because when you stop internalizing disrespect, it loses its poison. What they said might have been meant to hurt. But your choice is whether it lives in you. Don't let it. Keep your posture. Keep your path. Keep your power. You weren't hurt by what they said. You were hurt by how long you held on to it. And now, you don't hold anymore. You release. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Key 3. Know who you are. They questioned your worth, mocked your path, laughed at your stillness like noise meant depth. But here's what they'll never understand. A person who knows who they are can't be moved by people who don't. Their comments? Surface. Your clarity? Rooted. You don't need to react when someone tries to define you. You don't need to defend a name you've already owned. The Stoics understood when identity is unstable, every insult hits. Every look hurts. Every silence feels personal. But when identity is fortified, nothing shakes you. Because you know what you carry. You know what you've built. You know what you've bled to become. And no stranger, no skeptic, no loud little mind can reach what's been earned in silence. You don't fight to prove who you are. You live in a way that makes explanation unnecessary. That's the edge, that's the armor. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them judge what they'll never get close enough to touch. The truth? They're reacting to something in you they haven't found in themselves. Confidence, clarity, calm under pressure. That's not arrogance, that's understanding. And when you understand who you are, you don't flinch when they forget. So keep walking, keep building, keep becoming, while they keep guessing. Key 4. Stay on your path. They'll mock what they don't understand. They'll doubt what they can't do. They'll throw shade because they've never stood in their own light. Let them. The Stoic doesn't change course because of noise. The Stoic keeps walking. Disrespect is designed to distract, to make you look back, to make you second-guess your pace, your dream, your direction. But here's the truth. The path gets lonelier right before it gets clearer. And every time you pause to correct someone smaller than your vision, you shrink. You weren't made to argue. You were made to build. You were made to please. You were made to move. Stay on your path. Let the doubters talk. Let the weak test. Let the irrelevant shout. That's all they have. That's all they have. Noise. But you have momentum. You have purpose. You have a code. And when you walk with that, disrespect becomes background hum. It doesn't pull you in. It gets drowned out by the sound of your own footsteps. You're not here to explain. You're not here to impress. You're here to execute. And execution doesn't need applause. It needs silence. It needs repetition. It needs a spine so straight that no opinion can bend it. So keep walking, cold, clear, unshaken. Stay on your path. That's the one place they'll never be able to follow. T5. Lead with dignity. They want a reaction. They want you to snap, to curse, to sink to their level low so they can say, see, you're no better. But dignity is restraint. It's when you could strike, but choose not to. Because your character isn't defined by what they say, it's revealed by what you allow. The Stoics understood. Power doesn't rise with volume. It rises with composure. Anyone can clap back, anyone can insult, anyone can get dragged into the dirt, but to stand still, to breathe when the world gets loud, that's control. You don't lead by domination. You lead by example, by showing that the person hardest to provoke is the one who's already won. You don't need revenge. You don't need the last word. Your silence is the last word. Your peace is the closing argument. Keep your voice calm, keep your pace steady, keep your spirit above theirs. Because nothing disturbs small minds more than a presence they can't shake. And when you walk with dignity, you don't just protect your peace, you expose their chaos. Let them flinch, let them spiral, let them choke on the space you refuse to fill. Dignity is your posture. When the world tries to pull you sideways, stand tall, stand quiet, stand unmoved. They'll feel that, even if you say nothing. T6, never chase respect. You want to be respected. That's natural, but chasing it, that's how you lose it. The moment you need it, you hand over your power. Because real respect doesn't come from pleasing or convincing or proving. It comes from presence, from principle, from a life so aligned that even your silence has weight. The Stoics knew respect is a side effect, not a goal. It's not something you beg for. It's something you radiate when you no longer need it to feel whole. Stop trying to be accepted. Stop adjusting your truth to match their comfort. When you chase approval, you become easy to ignore. But when you stand in your standard, you become impossible to replace. Not everyone will respect you. That's not your failure. It's their filter. Let them judge, let them misread, let them look away. You're not here to perform. You're here to become. Respect that, and the right people will feel it before they hear a single word. Because the ones worth your time don't need to be convinced, and the ones who walk away weren't strong enough to stand next to what doesn't bend. So stop chasing, start building, and let your existence do the explaining. T7, protect your energy. Disrespect doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers, slips into your space quietly, takes your time, your calm, your clarity, not with punches, but with leaks. And most people, they don't break all at once, they just get drained, bit by bit. So the Stoic didn't just fight battles, he protected his energy, like it was his final currency. You don't owe everyone your presence. You don't have to respond to every voice. You don't need to fix, explain, soften, or absorb. Because every time you give energy to someone who disrespects it, you teach them that it's free. But your energy isn't free, it's built. With sleep, with silence, with self-respect, and anything that drains it without returning it is theft. So guard it. Don't argue with chaos. Don't entertain ignorance. Don't overstay where you're undervalued. Leave quietly, leave early, leave even when no one claps. Your peace is not up for discussion. Your clarity is not a group decision. Protect your space like it's your sanctuary, because in a world that wants your attention, stillness is rebellion. Distance is wisdom, and peace is the most dangerous energy to lose. Let them call it cold. Let them call it selfish. Let them call it whatever they need to, so long as they leave. You don't owe access. You owe yourself. Protect your energy, or you'll spend your life fixing what others keep breaking. T8. Respond with action, not words. They tried to belittle you, to make you explain, to drag you into an argument. You were never supposed to join. Why? Because words are cheap, and they know if they can get you talking, they can pull you down to their level. But a Stoic doesn't fight in the mud. A Stoic doesn't raise their voice, they raise their standard. Because nothing silences disrespect faster than undeniable results. Let them say you're not enough. Then show them why you stopped listening. You don't argue with small minds, you outgrow them. Quietly. Completely. Let your actions speak what your words never could. Growth, elevation, distance. Not in theory, but in motion. The job you built, the body you sculpted, the peace you defended, the self-worth you repaired in private. You didn't post it, you didn't broadcast it, you didn't explain it, you just became it. And that's the loudest response to anyone who ever thought you'd stay where they left you. So don't fight them, surpass them, don't warn them, replace them, don't explain yourself, just build. So unapologetically, that even their silence starts to sound like respect. No hashtags, no captions, no updates, just evolution. Let them talk. You've got work to do. T9. Walk away with power. They expected noise, drama, one last plea to be seen, to be understood. But instead, you stood up and walked away. No speech, no scene, no second glance. That's power, because the loudest move is the one you don't explain, the one where your back says everything your mouth never did. The Stoics didn't storm out, they stepped out. Calm, clear, unreachable. Walking away isn't weakness, it's control. It means you finally understood that the fight isn't worth your peace, that presence is a privilege, and not everyone deserves it. So stop lingering, stop rehearsing comebacks, stop hoping they'll finally see. They won't. And even if they did, it's too late. You've outgrown the room, the role, the repetition. When you walk away, don't slam the door. Let it close so quietly that the silence haunts them, because no one forgets the one who left without burning the place down. No one forgets the one who exited with dignity. And if they ever ask what happened, they won't get an answer. Only distance, only silence, only the fact that you never needed them to begin with. You didn't walk away for revenge. You walked away because staying was starting to cost you yourself. So go. Cold, clean, final. That's not escape, that's elevation. T10. Be untouchable. They'll try again, with sarcasm, with silence, with subtle jabs meant to shake your, but it won't work. Not anymore. Because the Stoic doesn't just avoid the chaos, he outgrows it. He becomes untargetable. Not by hiding, but by building a self so complete that no insult can land, no rejection can sink, no disrespect can reach. This is your final form, calm, closed, clear. Not cold, but boundaried. You feel everything, but show nothing. You hear everything, but absorb nothing. Because when your worth no longer depends on anyone else's behavior, you become untouchable. They can mock. You remain still. They can exclude. You stay whole. They can throw shade, but it doesn't reach where you live now. You're not above them. You're beyond them. Above reaction, beyond reach. Unshakable by design. You didn't build this peace overnight. You bled for it, sat in silence for it, walked alone for it. And now, you don't let just anyone in. Not because you're bitter, but because you're selective. Because you've learned what it costs to rebuild your center. Every time someone careless cracks it, be kind, but distant. Be real, but reserved. And when they try to find the old you, let them echo through the silence. Because untouchable isn't a mask, it's a milestone. And you've earned it. They lost you, not your power. You didn't win by clapping back. You didn't win by proving a point. You won by staying whole. You held your calm when they tried to rattle it. You held your standard when they tried to pull you below it. And now, they don't just miss your attention. They miss your access. Because you didn't burn the bridge. You just never crossed back. This wasn't about being liked. This was about being undented, about becoming someone who doesn't need to control others because they've already mastered themselves. That's what they'll never understand. Why their words stopped landing, why their presence lost weight, why their chaos stopped shaking your peace. It's not because you changed, it's because you returned to the part of you that was never theirs to reach. You're not untouched because the world stopped trying. You're untouched because you stopped needing to be touched at all. No applause, no closure, no revenge, just silence. Built from breath, guarded by standard, cemented by everything you chose not to respond to. They lost access. But you gained something better. A self they can't reach, a calm they can't fake, a power they'll feel but never break again.